Hi, welcome to the anime universe. I'm Arm. Today, I will continue to share the second part of Valentine's Love. If you haven't watched the first part, you can look for the link in the comments section below. I'm sure you won't regret it after watching it. As I mentioned before, the group has a rare break. Takuma is embarrassed that he is caught during the school festival, and he decides to play a doctor's game with the Valkyries to eliminate his guilt. This doctor game is actually Takuma playing as a doctor to give the Valkyries a physical examination. The first one to come for a physical examination is Futaba. Takuma sees her good figure but still hold it. By the time Misa arrives, Takuma is embarrassed. He has to help her apply the ointment, and some intimate physical contact takes place between the two. Next, it is Mutsumi's turn to have Takuma check her tooth decay, but Mutsumi has a strange sense of excitement by having the oral examination. And after the examination, Mutsumi runs away shyly. Soon Takuma meets Yakumo, his worst feared person, the Valkyrie, who looks petite but is actually more lecherous than several of her sisters. Several times before, Takuma scared the Valkyries away, but this time Yakumo, who has become active, scares Takuma away. The Valkyries' fights for Takuma intensify, and Itsuyo asks Misa, who has a good relationship with her, to teach her the do's and don'ts of dating. Misa has never been in a relationship either, and when she sees her poor younger sister, she promises to help. Misa calls Takuma to fold clothes, and she will demonstrate how a man and a woman can bond in a confined space, while Itsuyo hides outside the door to take notes. Poor Takuma just comes to help with the work, and because Misa is revealing too much of her body, Takuma can see a lot of parts that shouldn't be seen. In order not to lose face in front of Itsuyo, Misa has been stalling time to stay with Takuma, and the more nervous she gets, the more prone she is to make mistakes, and they accidentally hug together. Eventually, Misa spends an hour with Takuma, who doesn't like to socialize, and her image in Itsuyo's mind becomes a loving saint. After a brief farce, the story also comes back to the main line. The Valkyries have received supplies from the gods, including Odin's oracle, and soon demons will invade the world. Everyone has planned to continue to let Natsuki lead the fight, but unfortunately, her consumption during the school festival is too much, and even if she has kissed Takuma for a long time, she cannot transform. At this time, Futaba comes up with a second combat plan, and she asks Kururi, who is the best at invention, to make a special tablet that can detect the attributes of the Valkyries and demons, one of which called energy is particularly important. The Valkyries would consume energy when attacked or injured, and would be dismantled once the energy is exhausted. According to Odin's oracle, the protagonist group will encounter more and more powerful demons, and their fight plans will be more sophisticated than before. There are not many Valkyries in their current state with their abilities being suitable for combat, and in the end, Mutsumi and Yakumo are selected as the Valkyries for the next fight. Takuma has always been afraid of Yakumo, so he goes to Natsuki to gather intelligence before the date. Takuma learns that Yakumo's physique is very special. In addition to the Valkyrie's exclusive ability, she also has a very sensitive sense of hearing, can easily catch the sound of insects, birds, and heartbeats, and usually wears headphones to prevent noise. Takuma then understands why Yakumo keeps saying that he is noisy. Takuma struggles to adjust his status and date Yakumo, but unfortunately fails because of too many distractions, and as a result, he is mercilessly taunted by Yakumo. After that, Yakumo decides to give Mutsumi a shot, and she asks Takuma to take private photos of Mutsumi between couples, and the chemistry spreads in the air. Yakumo dislikes the slow progress and secretly unties Mutsumi's clothes. The shy Mutsumi chooses to be very cooperative, and she is eager to win Takuma's favor. Just then, a new demon appears. The huge demon attacks, causing chaos, and Ichika and Futaba immediately intervene, and now it is up to them to stall the demon. In order to help their sisters, Yakumo and Mutsumi quickly kiss Takuma to speed up the acquisition of experience points. The tongues of the three twist together, and with their efforts, the two Valkyries finally complete the transformation. This fight plan is also simple. The demons showing up on Earth will consume more energy than the Valkyries, and Mutsumi will use her flying ability as bait to consume the demons' energy. In the initial period of the operation, everything goes well. Yakumo's ability is her voice, and the lyrics she sings can greatly affect reality, such as slowing down a demon's attack when she sings of such an action. After a period of fighting, the protagonists find that the energy consumption of the demons displayed on the tablet is not large, which is greatly unexpected to them. Takuma guesses that he and the two Valkyries are not intimate enough, and their levels are not high enough to maximize the consumption of demons. At this time, the demon cuts the ground and reappears. Yakumo hurriedly increases the defense of her companions, and Mutsumi relies on her flying ability to lead the others to escape. The accident happens again. A special arrow hits the demon, and the next moment the demon explodes violently, and the serious injuries exhaust the energy of the two Valkyries. The demon's energy is also not much left, but it is still enough to kill people. At the critical moment, Takuma steps forward again, and before the start of this fight, Futaba entrusted her two sisters to him and explained that Mistiltonen would strengthen Takuma's abilities if he is confident and brave to protect those he cares about. Takuma sees himself as a hero who saves the world, temporarily forcing back the demons with ordinary punches, and at any time he can use his ability to help the two Valkyries mend their suits. And finally, the three of them work together to kill the demons. This fight shows Yakumo the brave side of Takuma. She buys a drink to ease the relationship between them, only to see that Natsuki has already brought Takuma a drink, and she feels very strange. The mysterious boy who rescued Garm before has been hiding in the distance to watch the fight. It was he who shot the arrow that made the demon explode. The last few fights have stressed the mysterious boy out a lot. He feels that the enemy is rapidly getting stronger, so the mysterious boy decides to summon more powerful allies to invade the world. The Valkyries sense that the demons are getting stronger, and they are taking more radical approaches. Natsuki plays the role of a pervert on the tram to launch the attack, and Takuma rescues the victim Itsuyo. I think that true love would make the Valkyries stronger, but I don't expect them to use bugs to collect experience points like this. The flat-chested Natsuki is in a bad mood when she plays the perverted role. Everyone had the same body figure when they were children, but when they grow up, Itsuyo and Mutsumi's bodies are very plump, and Natsuki can't figure out why she becomes like this. The more she thinks about it, the more unwilling she becomes, completely forgetting that she is role-playing, and Itsuyo is tortured very painfully. Takuma is even more distressed, waiting for the tram to arrive at the station to rush up to save people, only to be taken away by the police for questioning because of his suspicious appearance. Takuzu finally explains clearly. At this time the train also comes in. Takuma rushes up to save people but falls and hugs Itsuyo. They usher in another intimate contact. While the Valkyries are working to upgrade, the forces on the villain side are also brewing a new round of attack. The mysterious boy Uller reappears. His appearance is a sensible and cute boy, and no one has ever suspected Uller. In private, he is a powerful presence that completely crushes Cerberus Garm. Uller directs Garm to prepare dinner and prepare to welcome the soon-to-becoming princess. At this time, a girl appears without everyone noticing. She is the powerful Princess Skuld that Uller mentioned. Garm just jokes with her and is trampled under the feet of the maid of Skuld, Roskva. It's hard to imagine how powerful Skuld can be if her maid can crush Garm in a minute. Natsuki and Takuma are attacked on their way home, and the sneaky attacker hides in a dimly lit alley and cannot be identified. Natsuki doesn't feel energy fluctuations before being attacked, and she is surprised that the demon can come to the human world silently. Both Natsuki and the sneaky attacker are very fast. They fight for several rounds in a very short time. Natsuki is at a disadvantage when the sneaky attacker takes the initiative to walk out of the alley. She turns out to be the eldest sister of the 9 Valkyries, Ichika. That night, Ichika blames Takuma for growing up too slowly, causing her to keep them secretly protected, and she has always felt that it's very disadvantageous for her sisters to have intimate interactions with Takuma. Ichika is fierce when facing Takuma and immediately becomes mild when confronting her sisters. This time she will come to replace the incapable Natsuki as the main attacker, and in the 9 Valkyries, she and Natsuki are good at spear and sword abilities respectively, and they are both innate attackers. In order to speed up the level, Futaba directly arranges for the eldest sister and Takuma to bathe together. Ichika seems to be unreasonable, but in fact, she is the strongest of the 9 sisters in intelligence and force. Ichika tells Takuma that the experience they can gain from just sleeping together is very limited, which is why the sisters are slow to level up. Only by confidently falling in love equally with Takuma can the Valkyries maximize their experience. At this time, Natsuki and Yakumo, who are sent by Futaba to protect Takuma, also enter the bathroom. At the moment, several sisters are betting on how long the eldest sister will do something to Takuma. Ichika has a special constitution like Yakumo. As long as someone touches her skin, she will be very sensitive. Now Takuma wants to help Ichika take a bath. The sisters are really afraid that their eldest sister will lose control and kill Takuma. At the same time, Skuld also gives orders to her companions to attack the Valkyrie's stronghold and kill Takuma. Another important goal of Skuld's operation is to snatch Mistiltonen. Garm is thrilled along the way, and he wants to wash away the shame of his previous defeat with a big victory. Soon the forces of the wicked gods and the forces of the Lord God represented by Ichika meet, and Skuld discovers that Ichika is alone and does not pay attention to the other at all. Ichika tries to convince Skuld to return to the god world, and if the wicked god's forces and the main god forces go to all-out war, both the human world and the god world will be devastated. Naturally, Skuld cannot have been convinced by Ichika's few words, and the proud girl sends Roskva and Garm to fight instead. When Ichika hears Garm's name, she recalls that the other party is the Cerberus who injures her sisters. Ichika fights off Garm in a second, grabbing Roskva hostage, and only now does Skuld realize she has underestimated her enemy. Roskva is Snorri of Skuld, and they can help each other become stronger. Takuma and the Valkyries are like them, and the fact that Roskva is held hostage holds Skuld back. The cautious Uller does not act with the large troops. He hides in the distance to observe, and now it is his turn to strike. He parasitizes his killing intent on a passerby, and Ichika gets distracted by mistaking the passerby for a sneaky attacker, and Skuld seizes the opportunity to kiss Roskva to complete the transformation. In an instant, countless demons are hatched by Skuld, and she awakens to become a level 52 warrior with an exclusive ability to hatch a large number of demons. Fortunately, Itsuyo arrives at this time, and she can barely use her chain ability to bind the demon. Unfortunately, her ability has no effect, and the level of Ichika is too low to deal with the transformed Skuld. Unexpectedly, Skuld gives up her advantage. Roskva and Garm are already wounded, and Skuld chooses to retreat to heal. This fight makes the Valkyries more aware of their shortcomings, and Natsuki visits Shino, the fourth Valkyrie who has been wearing a helmet and has never participated in the war. On the other side, the eldest sister Ichika is stepping up her relationship interaction with Takuma, but unfortunately, she has not recognized Takuma in her mind. No matter how close the two people are, they can't get experience points. The sisters try to convince Ichika to accept Takuma, but Ichika only recognizes the strong and can't change her mind in a short time. The sisters let Ichika and Takuma go shopping to improve their relationship. However, Ichika buys a bunch of fitness books, still thinking that she can defeat the wicked gods on her own. Natsuki is completely different from her eldest sister, and after this time together, she has deep feelings for Takuma. Natsuki accidentally drinks the wrong potion Kururi has made, and the side effects of the potion cause Natsuki to stick to Takuma like a drunk. She also says a lot of truth in a trance. Fortunately, Takuma is too pure to take advantage of Natsuki. When Natsuki regains consciousness, she feels shy, happy, and a bit down. At this moment, the three eldest sisters in the Valkyries have gathered to discuss tactics against the forces of the wicked gods. Skuld can hatch demons in large quantities, which can cause the main god forces to fall into a long fight. Ichika, who is in charge of the main attack, can only transform for 1 second because her level is too low, and Natsuki has not been able to transform since the school festival, and most of the others' abilities belong to the auxiliary and defensive directions, and cannot influence the direction of the high-level fight. In the end, they come up with a way for Futaba to stall Skuld in the frontal fight, and Ichika will go around to the rear to attack Roskva, and Skuld will be disarmed after losing Roskva, the source of power. The most important thing now is to level up Futaba so that she can fully contain Skuld. So Futaba learns about Natsuki's couple interaction before the transformation of the school festival and kisses Takuma fiercely without clothes. This round of interaction transforms Futaba into level 15, which is far below expectations. Soon Futaba and Skuld face off, and she has been fighting hand-to-hand with the demons hatched by Skuld, and her physical strength and energy are gradually exhausted and she is in a hard fight. When Takuma finds it difficult to understand why Futaba hasn't summoned the castle earlier, Ichika reveals a secret. Futaba's ether is too low to summon a full castle, and she hasn't earned too much experience on Takuma this time. Even summoning a wall would speed up energy consumption, and Futaba keeps hand-to-hand combat to keep the transformation state to contain Skuld. Her choice puts her in a difficult situation. Futaba not only has to fight the demon army but also distracts herself to protect her incapable sisters. Ichika rejects Takuma's offer to save people. They have to pay so much to make Skuld let her guard down, and now they can only wait for Futaba to kill the last few demons to get the final victory. Takuma always feels that something is wrong, but he can't tell what it is. Finally, Ichika waits for a chance to strike, and it is only then that Takuma discovers the problem. This time Skuld summons one less demon egg than the last time in the fight, and this demon egg is hatching in Roskva's body at this moment. Roskva is blessed with demonic power to block the transformed Ichika, and the fight turns around again. Fortunately, Takuma's enlightenment isn't too late. He saves Ichika in time to escape desperately. They come to an empty park. Takuma wants to unleash his power to heal Ichika, but unfortunately, his ability is up and down, and he cannot control it at all. At this moment, Ichika is desperate. She misses the fatal blow, and it is impossible to defeat Skuld. Ichika tells Takuma to give up on her and go back to join the others as soon as possible to find another way. Takuma says no to the strong Ichika for the first time, and he finally faces his fear of Ichika and asks her to risk her life with him to fight again. Takuma's bravery is greatly admired by Ichika, and she recalls that when she was a child, she was asked by Odin what kind of man she liked, and the enterprising Ichika replied that she didn't need a man, just a weapon in her hand was enough. At this moment, Ichika trusts Takuma like a weapon of her own, and she lets go of all prejudice and kisses Takuma affectionately. The fiercest fight is about to begin, and Skuld will face Ichika at level 5 and Takuma at level 10, who has also completed his transformation. The tide of the fight is completely reversed, and Ichika launches a fierce attack, while Takuma continues to help Ichika recharge her energy. Enraged, Skuld decides to kill Takuma first. When Natsuki arrives and she upgrades one level with Takuma's help, Skuld knows that it is difficult to win just by her current state, so she casts a forbidden spell and completes the final combination with Roskva. Skuld exudes an aura of destruction all over her body, and the fight finally enters its final stage, with both sides using their final moves. The most mysterious Shino has been responsible for creating barriers in the rear to prevent ordinary humans from being involved in this fight between gods and demons. But the fight is too fierce, and the huge barrier finally shatters. Skuld begins to devour human souls outside the barrier, and her attacks become more and more intense each time. Takuma blocks the Valkyries, and he overdraws all his energy plus a part of his soul to finally block Skuld's strongest blow. At this moment, Skuld also reaches a tipping point. She chooses to lift the transformation and escapes with Roskva, who is also in an overdraft. For Skuld, she fails to kill Takuma, but it is still a victory. She holds down the Valkyrie's side in the frontal fight, while Garm and Uller attack Misa. She has to protect his sisters and protect the hidden Mistiltine, only to be physically damaged by Garm, and the Mistiltine is taken away. Misa's life has begun to count down. Her soul has entered the legendary Nibelheim. This is the end of the soul. She will not even survive tonight if there is no miracle. The Valkyries don't know how to save their sister, and at this critical juncture, Takuma steps forward again, risking his life to enter Nibelheim. After the death of his mother, Takuma's life falls into its darkest moment, and the Valkyries around him give him the meaning of living. Perhaps Odin would have chosen Takuma as his savior because he sees the goodness and stubbornness in his soul. Eventually, Misa is saved thanks to Takuma's efforts. Back on Earth, Takuma meets Shino for the first time, and Takuma always has a very familiar feeling when he looks at her. At the end of the story, Takuma overcomes his fear of others with the help of the Valkyries, and he succeeds in first grade to fulfill his mother's last wish. He loves life more, and he looks forward to being with the girls and love. As for which Valkyries he will choose to accompany him for life in the future, it has not yet been revealed. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will bring the new recap as soon as the second season airs. This anime tells the counterattack of a boy. Takuma does nothing wrong but is judged and hated by others because of his vicious looking. I believe that many people in real life have encountered prejudice for similar reasons, but I believe that darkness will pass and light will come. Cheer up, guys! Well, that's it for this video.